welcome back to Arts and Casts. I've been working with rugs for about 2 years now, and I finally feel like I'm getting the hang of how to do all of it. I thought it would be a great time to take you along the tips and tricks of what I've learned over the years of how to master trimming your rug. Starting with the tools, I will link everything below. I just have my handy dandy shears, a portable little vacuum, it gets very messy, and some good scissors. And that's it. You are also going to want to make sure that you have a nice level surface to work on your rug, because step one with our shears is going to be doing a level surface over the whole thing, just to clean up any of those loose ends. So when we start to trim out and make those really clean lines, everything is nice and even. I have my shears set to about medium. I find that's good. I don't like it set too high. So to do this, I don't want to be working into the rug. I want to be working level. So I kind of put the end of my shears down, and then we're just going to go along. And when I'm doing this, I like to also work in all directions. So I'll level up, I'll level down, I'll level to the side, and then I'll level to the other side. So let's get going. Okay, so now that we have created a nice flat surface to work on, we are going to jump right into how to create those nice crisp lines. So to do that, I first want to make sure that my shears, if it has this option, as mine on the bottom here has a scale where I can have it from 1 to 5, and that decides how long my blade is. For this process, you want a short blade, as I find that cuts the yarn the best. You're going to take your shears about a 90-degree angle, and what we are going to be doing is separating the colors. You don't want to be putting too much pressure to go too into the fabric, as you don't want to cut the monk cloth that is underneath, but enough pressure to cut it. So that's going to take a little bit of practice just to find that middle ground. You're just going to cut into the one color, so I'm starting with my red. And again, you don't have to go too crazy. I just like to do it a couple times, and you're just going to start creating a good ledge to really separate the two colors. We are then just going to turn our shears so they are tilted the other way. Back on this side, now we are working into the black, and we are going along, creating that nice space. And as you can see, I am really working slow and going over and getting any of those threads that are over on the wrong side, cleaning it up. This is a very tedious process, but that's what makes it look so crisp and clean. You really have to take your time with it. You also obviously want to make sure that you are making even lines. This is why we work slow, because you can always trim more, you can never trim less, okay? This is a labor of love. Slow and steady wins this race. And once you have worked on a decent chunk and the yarn is everywhere, I just like to take my vacuum and clean up the workspace. I also find that this helps clean out the yarn so you can really see the lines that you have created. As I'm leveling it out, you can see that there are certain pieces, like up here, this little black guy. As I'm doing these lines, I'm also just going to separate, and at my 90-degree angle, I'm just going to cut the black, working down both sides, and just like that, you can see that it already starts to create a way crisper line. I also just wanted to say that I've been going at this for 2 hours, and all I have done is the hair and bow of one of these heads. I feel like when you watch videos of rug artists, it just looks like they're working so fast, one nice swoop over the thing, and it is perfectly clean. And I want to promise you that that is a highlight reel. To master your trimming, it takes patience and love. Don't get frustrated, don't compare yourself to other artists. Take your time, really throw your love into it. Obviously, when you're working on a big rug like this and a section like that takes so long, I like to split this up into little chunks so I don't get burnt out on my rugs. We are taking every step with love. You want to keep your shears clean as you go, and before and after projects, and replacing the blades once it starts getting dull, as it makes the trimming way harder than it needs to be. Making sure that you are taking care of your shears before and after and during your projects is an absolute must. Also, just a pre-warning that this is a very messy craft. Look at my pants, look at the floor. This is another great reason that you always want to have the vacuum handy. Also making sure that you're doing this in a space that you don't mind getting messy and that you can easily clean up all the hair. Look at all these fibers just everywhere. Okay. After feels like what, a million years, we have finally made it to the final steps of finishing this beauty off. I am so excited. Once you have done the majority of your rug trimming and you are overall happy with how it's looking, now is cleaning any of those fine details, and really probably just me being a perfectionist because I never know when to stop. So we're continuing. I first like to give the rug a really good clean. First I go over it with my vacuum, and then I like to clear it with my hands. We are in the last step, which is cleaning up this border. And technically it is 2 steps, so last step, part 1, is I'm just going to take my scissors. I like to start by turning it over, so just working along the edge of the fabric and cutting a straight line. And then we are going to flip it back over. And again, when you're doing this, you want to be working your hands back and forth so you can really see what the yarn is up to, okay? Now we are at the final step, I promise. Taking our shears, I'm going to be working from the center of the rug out towards the edge. I just like to flatten my border down a little bit. Oh my goodness, we did it. I'm gonna clean up my mess first. This is getting out of hand. And just like that, we have successfully shaved the rug. I really hope that this video was informative and that you got some good tips and tricks. Like I said, it really is all about patience and time and practice. I've been doing this for almost 2 years and I still feel like I have so much to learn and so far to go. Practice, 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 and you will slowly get better and see improvement. I have so many rug projects coming up that I'm going to get done. They're just sitting all pretty and half done around my house. But that is the next project. Stay tuned for a rug pillow, lots more creative crochet tutorials, and just a lot more fun. So thank you guys so much for clicking on this video and learning with me. Practice, practice, practice. You got this. And until next time, peace.